Codependency is found in both men and women. When a codependent person makes demands or feels a boundary has been crossed, they then, unfortunately, have to become narcissistic when they demand the boundary be respected. The true way for a codependent to not become a narcissist is to actually convert more into an alpha. Break their codependency and walk away. Simply state, this is unacceptable. We've talked about this, and I'm leaving, or I'm going to go away for a while. And you can try and relive. But to make demands, it's kind of a narcissistic. At that point, you're saying, obviously you want to do the other thing more. You crossed my boundary. Now I want you to not do the thing you wanted to do more to please me. So now they're only focused on what they want, not the fact the other person didn't want to do it. Narcissism is the masculine, codependence is the feminine side. They go hand in hand. When there is a relationship, man and woman, typically, the woman, to a degree, is a codependent because they feel the need, usually they have babies and children, which they need usually a man to do that. And then a father is taking care of kids. Takes two people. I mean, pretty much does. A lot of work. However, when that leverage is starting to use, when the man becomes a beta and becomes more codependent, then the woman feels control. And we all do this. It's subconscious. I don't care if you're a man or a woman. Unless you work on yourself and meditate, hypnosis, which most people don't do any of that, then we all do it. And even if you do all that work, you still do it. You can just catch it later. I mean, that's, and then try and work on it every time it comes up. But trying to punish an alpha with resentment and punishments, like codependent women usually do, and men, again, I mean, this is, it's so easy to talk about gender because we've all experienced it. All girls are like this, all men are like that, but to be honest, they're exactly the same. They just have different topics that they fight for. But when you punish an alpha with resentment, let's say alpha draws a line, which the codependent loves an alpha. Very attractive, he takes charge, protects, until the codependent wants something and the alpha doesn't bend to their will and forfeit what he wants. Usually the codependent doesn't want compromise. They want it their way or no way at all. So when a codependent goes to punish, and usually in marriages or relationships, it's deny sex and intimacy and other stuff. They begin to pull that away, and they won't even say that. A lot of times subconsciously they'll say, I'm not in the mood, and we can't just do it on the drop of a whim. And well, what it really is they're holding resentment and they're suppressing it. But we all do this again, but usually women will sense resentment and know it's not as big of a deal, so she can't bring it up. Even she thinks it's foolish. It's not a big deal. However, it can then get suppressed, and then she doesn't feel sexy. So now withholds. Now, when you do this to an alpha, once or twice, or maybe 3 times, he basically packs his things up and go. Or, asks her to move out, or says we want to see other people. The same thing happens when you try and do B.F. Skinner behavioral conditioning on dolphins. With a dog, monkey, most other primates, you can do punishments, rewards. However, interesting, with dolphins, this doesn't work. Behavioralists have tried with dolphins, and after 1 or 2 punishments, they didn't jump through the hoop 2 times like we conditioned them when we blew the whistle once. So this time, we withhold the snack, or we give them a little electrocution. I can't remember how they did in the study. But the dolphin only did this twice. And after the dolphin saw that this was conditional love, that the treat's nice, praise is nice, but having a punishment means there's conditions that aren't always met. So rather than bend from the alpha mindset, the dolphin simply disengages. Even if you bring a treat, the dolphin's, I'm good. I'll go find some more fish. Lunchtime's coming later. Oddly enough, the dolphin's brain and neural synapses are more advanced than the human brain. Especially us men. Sorry, I had to say that. So once you break this codependency where the alpha is bent to the will of the codependent narcissist. When you withdraw intimacy and sex, the alpha is like the dolphin. 1 or 2 times, maybe. 3 times, no. And once you break this rule and you're on number 3, 4, 5, or 6, you're now beta. And the longer you stay in beta, trust me, I know all too well, the longer you stay in beta, the harder it is to find your alpha. And guess what? When you're trying to find new fish, the women don't like betas. They like it for a year or two when you're in a relationship and they're controlling you. But when you're trying to meet new ones, betas won't do. Unless they're severely broken by an alpha. Then they'll try and like a beta, but it doesn't last very long and certainly not very good. So be like the dolphin. Use your brain instead of your emotions that are unaudited. Audit your beliefs. Why is it sometimes you feel a certain way, but you don't know why? Or you know one thing, but you do the other. That's where the answers are. But don't keep repeating it. Everyone loses. The woman doesn't want a beta. The man wants respect, wants intimacy, needs it. And so does the woman. These are just untrained humans going through a cycle of punishment with conditional love. Grow up or keep repeating the cycle.